Quick disclaimer, all the content in this video are for its rightful owner. No copyright infringement intended. I don't own shit. But yeah, enjoy the video.
Dropping the football for the reason for it.
Welcome to Giants Country, a land where the derp is a way of life, where the ways of derp are passed along from generation to generation until it evolves into a sentient being. Today, we can safely say this has become reality. The Giants have transformed from a solid mid-tier team to the derp to end all other derps. Eli Manning was just the beginning. I mean, just look at that guy, he's a derp and a half. The other half comes from his performance in games. One moment, the man looks like he should be sitting next to Archie in the stands. Then comes the fourth quarter, in which he develops incredible quarterbacking powers and somehow derps his way into 2 Super Bowl victories against the Patriots juggernaut. You guys remember when he was fucking terrible and the Giants faithful nearly ran him out of town? That may happen again soon. That man may be one of the most overrated quarterbacks in the game today, but he gave us 18-1. So I'd say he gets a pass for pawning off fake game-worn memorabilia to purveyors, right? This year, the Giants have passed off a forged football team to its fan base instead of the playoff contender they were expecting. I mean, look at how they built up the offense. A Brandon Marshall on the decline, some random running back no one's heard of, Geno Smith. This is a team built on all 3 fingers of Jason Pierre-Paul, a rock-solid defense, and Odell Beckham, who can best be described as Antonio Brown, but just a sliver less of a diva. I said a sliver. When he's not openly abusing kicking nets, he's demanding to be paid all of the money. It doesn't matter if he blew it in the playoffs and skipped OTAs. With his talent, there is sure to be some team desperate enough to throw him all of the boat parties he desires. I mean, he's gotta get his hair on point. He has to look good while he's catching all those, oh dear. Sure, the preseason has been a disaster, but the Giants are still surefire favorites to win the NFC East. Heck, I think I hear some theme music in the background. Why, it's none other than the ultimate derp, Ben McAdoo, slowly bumbling his way around the sidelines pretending to be an NFL coach. His tactical incompetence only matched by his borderline sex offender profile. This man is a pair of sweatpants and a wife beater away from being a 7th grade phys ed teacher at a New England prep school. If you figure something is going wrong with the Giants, it's probably this guy's fault. Hell, he's probably slipping in shots of vodka in the office. Look at his motivational tactics. Reading a book, Game of Thrones, an old-ass lion. That's gonna motivate his players to not get injured. This season is sure to get the Giants home for another Super Bowl run. For fuck's sake, Giants, I didn't expect you to imitate Holodomor, but you did just that. Absolute famine and misery are staples of the Giants' diet anymore. The running game hasn't existed in over 5 years, but look at that wide receiving core. At least you got OBJ. Did I mention this all happened during the same week? Thank God his hair is still looking good on that stretcher. Speaking of good, let's see that vaunted offensive line. Brilliance. Let's not even get into the genius of Eli Apple. His mama is just so sassy and molassy. What's she up to? She could probably play a better cornerback than her son. But don't you worry, Giants fans. Ben McAdoo knows what's up. He has pinpointed this problem to a T.
Sloppy quarterback play. We have a veteran quarterback who's played a lot of football.
What? Really, man? All the turmoil and chaos on the team and you're going to blame Eli? You're more of a fucking idiot than I imagined. Have you seen that utter lack of a running game? Do you have any idea what your O-line is looking like? Oh, hey, it's Eric Flowers! I'm not the biggest Eli fan in the world, but even I know this is in no way, shape, or form his fault. Have you been paying attention to Jerry Reese's stubborn approach to trades and drafting acumen over the past few years? Eric Flowers over Todd Gurley, anyone? That might have solved that whole running back quandary over the past 2 years instead of starting a fossil like Rashad Jennings or a Paul Perkins stuck in quicksand. What has been a good pick for them in the past 3 years? Besides Landon Collins, that dude is a stud. Honestly, it's fitting for this organization. Another prestigious city upon the hill to shine upon the NFL. A team that boasts about doing things the right way. They had a domestic abuser as their kicker. Did Wellington Mara pull a Rooney and say it was about baptism or some shit like that? But enough from me. The best comedy always comes from misery. Giants fan, give us some perspective on this bullshit.
Thanks, Tree. It's fitting that you intro me using the word misery, since the scene where that fat bitch hobbles the main character has pretty much been the theme for this fucking Giants season. Now, normally I would be miserable at the thought of my one-win team slogging through a season that has been more terrifying than a minor waiting on the results of a pregnancy test, and having to take the season-long lumps from my fellow Eagle, Redskins, and Cowboys fans who like to shove bamboo under my fingernails every time my squad loses. But there is one thing I have learned from all of this. All things must come to an end, and the derp era is coming to an end, and the proper way to end a legend's career is to tank like Operation Mother Effin' Desert Storm. That's right, I'm trusting Jerry Reese and his accidental string of terrible front office decisions that backed into 2 Super Bowls and not much else in between. Yep, it's time to clean house like Walter White's pest control company and cook up a fresh batch of championship meth. That is, of course, if we don't waste a #1 pick on Saquon Barkley and think next year is the last ride, because I doubt Dirt Man has another championship left in his arm. Screw it, just draft Barkley. I mean, look at all that speed. Sure, Eli has another year. All we have to do is replace both lines, shoot Eli Apple, get DRC to stop giving up on plays and the team, fire Ben McAdoo, bring back Tom Coughlin, and add Saquon Barkley. Shit, all we need to do is draft Barkley. He's the football equivalent to the cure for herpes that is this Giants season. Screw it! G-Man, Super Bowl champions 2019, you goddamn assholes. I had you. You thought I was serious. Screw you. Anyways, I'm gonna go cry now and post on social media about my feelings. This team is gonna suck for a long time. Dick.